The history of these sister queens is unlike anything you've ever heard. Boran and Azarmidokht were remarkable sisters who ruled ancient Iran during the Sasanian Empire, seizing the throne from each other. Boran, also known as Purandokht, wasn't just queen, she was the first woman to independently rule Iran and the Sasanian Empire. According to historians, her reign is remarkable for her efforts to restore order and justice in a time of chaos. But how did Boran actually come to power? After the brutal overthrow and execution of her father, Khosrow II, at 630 AD, the royal family was thrown into chaos. Many of her brothers and half-brothers were killed by her brother-husband Kavad II, leaving Boran and her sister Azarmidokht as some of the only legitimate heirs left standing. Yes, you heard right. Hold on to your butts, because Boran was married to her own brother, but it gets worse. She was married to her own father prior to marrying her brother Kavad II. You can let go of your butts now. The empire was in shambles, torn apart by civil war and infighting among the nobility. The main two factions were Pahlav and Parsig. In this power vacuum, Boran leveraged her royal lineage and the support of the influential military commander Farrukh Hormizd and his faction, the Pahlav, to claim the throne. Taking the throne during a time of chaos, Boran faced enormous challenges. Her empire was torn apart by war and political instability. Boran's reign was marked by her attempts to restore the glory of her father's rule, implement just laws, and rebuild the empire's infrastructure. She rose to the occasion with remarkable leadership, restoring order and justice to her people. Boran's reforms included lowering taxes, reconstructing roads and bridges, and minting coins in her own name, an act that symbolized her authority and legitimacy. Boran sought to reconcile the powerful noble factions, the Parsig and the Pahlav, whose rivalry had destabilized the empire. Her reign, however, was interrupted by her cousin Shapur-e-Shahrvaraz, who was then deposed by the Parsig faction. This faction, led by Piruz Khosrow, then placed her sister Azarmidokht on the throne. Now let's chat about Queen Azarmidokht, Boran's sister, who seized her chance amidst the chaos. She reigned for only a year, from 630 to 631 AD. She ruled with an iron fist. Azarmidokht used strategic alliances and careful negotiation to maintain her grip on power, even as rival factions plotted against her. Azarmidokht faced opposition as a woman ruler in a patriarchal society. One significant challenge was the attempt of Farrukh Hormizd, a powerful nobleman, to marry her and consolidate his power. When she refused, he declared himself an anti-king. But Azarmidokht didn't want to be controlled. She considered herself the rightful ruler, not a political pawn. So she summoned Farrukh Hormizd to her private chambers and had him killed. This was a decision she would regret, as it led to her eventual death. She was assassinated by Rostam Farrokhzad, who was seeking revenge for his father's death at the hands of Azarmidokht. After Azarmidokht's death, the Sasani court was once again thrown into turmoil. In the midst of this chaos, Boran was restored to the throne for a second time, backed by factions seeking stability. Her return was seen as a last hope to bring order to the crumbling empire, but the instability proved too great, and her second reign was also short-lived. Boran died either from illness or assassination around 632 AD. While some sources suggest she succumbed to natural causes, others claim she was murdered. One account indicates she was strangled by a general named Firuz. Boran and Azarmidokht's reigns, though brief, were significant as rare examples of female sovereignty in Iranian history. Subscribe if you learned something new.